I thank the ranking member for yielding. This phony balanced budget amendment is an old, sad Republican rerun. The only real answer to deficits is responsible budgets. America doesn't need this phony constitutional amendment meant to cover up presidents and congressional Republicans' failure to produce a balanced budget even for 1 year when they hold all the reins of power. If Republicans actually cared about the national debt, they wouldn't have passed their tax giveaway last year that will add more than $1.8 trillion to the deficit over the next decade. Whoa! $1.8 trillion more. Debt held by the public will approach 100% of gross domestic product by 2028. That's economic roulette. The deficit just rises. It kind of reminds me of President Trump being in the casino business and bankrupting them. Our country hasn't seen this level of debt since just after World War II, when the debt to GDP ratio hit an all-time high. That's 1946. This is 2018. Couple that with the ballooning U.S. trade deficit, which represents the gap between foreign imports versus U.S. exports, now reaching over $500 billion every year in the red. Half of that coming with unfair trade with China. If this corrosive pattern of financial abandon and foreign borrowing continues, at some point in the near future, foreign interests will view America's financial subservience to them as a strategic victory. Sadly, the Republican pattern of tax giveaways to the rich while racking up huge federal deficits is not new. Republican Donald Trump's mammoth deficits remind me of Republican Ronald Reagan's gaping deficits, which Democrat Bill Clinton had to rein in during the 1990s. And then Republican President George W. Bush post-September 11th pulled America into unending wars and never paid those bills. When the terrible financial crash of 2008 hit from that Republican abandon, Americans paid an enormous price for that, and our economy was finally pulled out with the rigor of President Obama and Democrats in this Congress. Mr. Speaker, the balanced budget amendment is a ridiculous sham. It is a transparent attempt and a very thin cover for Republicans to protect themselves during the midterm coming elections. The Republican Party is the party of red ink, and I can guarantee you the American people deserve better, and that change is coming. I yield back.
Is recognized.